Is Sprout Valley worth it? I purchased Sprout Valley for Nintendo Switch when it released back on September 8th and only paid about $5 on sale. I have played the game for over a week, and here are my thoughts on Sprout Valley. First of all, what is Sprout Valley? Well, it's a pixel graphic farming sim with RPG elements. You're a cat named Nico who is trading in hectic city life for a little slice of paradise on the archipelago of Ostera. You can farm, fish, craft, and travel to islands to farm resources and shop for rare items. There are day-night cycles and even rainstorms and fog. The game's pastel colorway plays nicely into the relaxing, cozy atmosphere. There is also a developing story that begins to provide additional goals other than merely exploring and surviving on your new island home. Let's begin with what I liked. First of all, Sprout Valley is relaxing. While there are goals, they aren't time sensitive for the most part, so you can essentially do what you want. If you want to make money to buy travel supplies and upgraded gear, you can farm and fish. If crafting bridges and exploring the potential of nearby land piques your interest, you can do that. The days do pass rather quickly, but I didn't feel rushed. Whatever I didn't complete, I could just finish the next day. There is no combat either. It's a very relaxing game. Next are the aesthetics. The tropical setting and relaxing undertones paired with the chartreuse grass and the minty seafoam waters just hits differently than the typical drab or obnoxiously primary colored games. Sprout Valley has a beautiful pixel landscape dotted with vibrant flowers and crops, and then you have the adorable animal characters, as well as the pets you can purchase to accompany you. The game is stinking cute, which is what initially attracted me to it. Third is exploration. Similar to Animal Crossing, you can board a boat and travel to a random mystery island to gather materials and hope for the opportunity to shop for rare items, or perhaps find a new pet friend to buy. You do have to purchase travel supplies for these adventures, so they aren't free, but it's a nice escape that adds an element of unknown to the game loop and can also help you complete crafting projects faster since your island has limited materials. Finally is the weather. The day and night cycles as well as the weather offers a bit of variety to spice up your Sprout Valley experience. At night, you'll see shimmering fireflies dancing around your island, and some mornings you'll wake up to the surprise of fog that yields mushroom harvesting, or maybe downpours and thunderstorms that provide optimal fishing conditions. This is definitely a nice touch that helps to keep the game interesting. However, like in any game, there is certainly room for improvement, and keep in mind these are all just my opinions. First is the inventory. There is a lot that Nico needs to carry. There's plant fiber, rocks, wood, sticks, logs, fish, fruit, travel materials, seeds, and the storage in his pocket and in the storage bin are incredibly limited. Now, you can buy backpack expansion slots, which is nice, but they are pricey. And thus far in the game, I have not found a way to expand my storage bin. Let's take a minute and talk about the controls. I struggled quite a bit with the controls, and it wasn't only due to user error because I'm not accustomed to Nintendo's backwards button layout on the controller. The game controls just aren't intuitive, at least for me. For example, after catching a fish, I couldn't just go and place it in my mailbox to sell. I first had to cycle through the tools to put away my fishing rod and then open the mailbox. There was no button just to put my tool away. Once you buy the backpack expansion, you use the D-pad to navigate within your pockets, and it has up and down arrows on the left. But then to get to the extra slots that you purchase, you have to use the bumper buttons on the back of the controller and go left or right. So It just didn't make sense to me. And then once you empty some slots in your pockets, there is no way to sort or reorganize the remaining items, so it's easy to forget what you are carrying. Also, I spent nearly a whole in-game day trying to figure out how to eat fruit to replenish my energy. Long story short, you have to hold down the button, your action button, for a few seconds before Nico will eat the fruit. The directions did use the verb hold, but it's such an unusual mechanic that it wasn't something I easily thought to try. The same mechanic is required when you buy the backpack expansion and you want to equip that. It's just a bit strange. And then there's the whole bit about grabbing and dropping items and opening and closing your inventory. It was a bit clunky, at least for me on the Nintendo Switch controller. Next are the graphics. Personally, I am not a huge fan of pixel graphics, and there were several times throughout the game where I struggled to tell what something was. Fishing, for example, wasn't overly clear when the fish had pulled the bobber under the water, so there was indeed a learning curve to knowing when to reel in the fish. Another example is the clock, which is a bit peculiar and took me a while to figure out how to interpret. I think it would have made more sense to place the clock hand around the circle that has the weather icon in it and use that as a clock. But I suppose that's being a bit persnickety. I enjoy the colors and the cute aesthetic, but the ambiguous pixel style of Sprout Valley can take a bit of getting used to. And then we have the bridges. Early in the game, you have the recipe to build bridges, and not a whole lot else to do since the story is just beginning. You have no map, and you're flooded with a sense of wonder about the possibility of nearby islands that you can get to. Naturally, many players will spend a lot of time harvesting and crafting bridges, like I did. I spent days, and I mean days, in the game, crafting bridges and building every direction on my island, only to become stuck on these little slivers of land that offered false hope. A map, or at least some hint about how to go about navigating these little land slivers, or if it's even possible to use them, would save a lot of frustration and wasted time. Finally is the story. This is a very subjective opinion, but I would have preferred more short-term goals like housing upgrades, hints on where to find a map, or maybe unlocking new areas such as a town with villagers instead of the slow story and resulting intense material grind that the starfruit machine in the basement demands. It just didn't captivate me, and I was left feeling a bit empty and not sure what I even wanted to do after I spent days fishing, farming, and crafting. So, is Sprout Valley worth buying? For $5 on sale, absolutely. Sprout Valley provided hours of entertainment and is inarguably a relaxing and cute game for adults and children alike. Would I pay the non-sale price of $15 to $18? If I really liked pixel graphic farming sims with RPG elements, yes. It's still cheaper than dinner and a movie, and it provides more entertainment. However, for me specifically, I'd wait for a sale. The frustrating controls and the lack of inventory space, combined with the lack of motivation that I felt to grind through the story, makes this a game better suited to picking up when on sale, in my opinion. It's adorable, but has some room for improvement, so it's a like and not a love in my book. If you would like to hop along with us on other cozy adventures, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching.